Alright guys, in this week's video we are going to throw some of the Siless sound deadening material in this Jeep Grand Wagoneer. So you can see, you order this off of the Amazon and it comes in these sheets that yeah, they're all folded up. You can cut this stuff, make it whatever size you want. I like this particular kit because these pieces, they cover up a pretty good amount of territory with each one. So first step you're going to want to do is to clean the surface that you're going to put this on. We've been working on the inside of the roof of this, and you can see most of it is already covered. I've saved this last little bit back here to video it going on. We are going to have to trim these pieces down a little bit to get them to fit in there. And then once you get it initially stuck, you get a roller and roll it in there good. This is an extra one that we purchased. I bought some of these kits in the past. They come with a free roller, and the roller is pretty lame, so get you a good one. Now this stuff, you peel it back and it is self-adhesive. It's supposed to be a butyl type of material. The butyl does not smell when it gets hot. I've done this in the past with stuff you can buy at like Lowe's or one of the big box stores, and it's stuff designed for roofing. The issue with it is it's asphalt based, so it smells a little bit like a road, asphalt road when it's hot. And the vehicle always seems like when it's hot you get a little bit of that smell. Some people say it works good. I have had mixed results. I just don't like the way that that stuff smells. So this is our first layer. We're going to take and clean this up with some alcohol so that we get a good clean surface back here for it to stick. And we'll cut a couple of these pads, put them in there, and then I've got some closed cell foam to put on top of this that further helps dampen that vibration that goes through metal. We call it harmonics, and that's kind of what leads to having drone and sound inside of your car that you really don't want. You don't want that tinny sound, right? We want to get it, the metal dampened, so it does not make that irritating drone when you're driving it down the road. So I'm just gonna plop this up here, and you don't have to have 100% coverage on this, guys, just 95, not even that, maybe 90% coverage. So handy little squares on the back of this material. I kind of looked, and if I cut it off on that line right there, that's going to be good enough for us. If we can get 80% of the metal covered, we'll dampen out 95% of that vibration. So I'm just going to go right down that line. And I'm using a razor blade. You could use a box cutter or whatever. And I'll take and I'll pull this back. Oh, and off camera I did clean this up good, so that we'd be sure that it would stick. So yeah. Alright, so I'm trying to stay out of the camera view. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to lay it up in this thing, try to get it straight, or at least somewhat, and try to avoid having bubbles in it. So I push it down tight with my hand. Come in with this roller. We're gonna roll it on there good and tight. We just continue that process all the way around all of our sheet metal. All right, so there you go. We got that set in there, and that is all the coverage you need. That will fully dampen the sound in that area. And the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna use some closed cell foam. We're gonna cut pieces and place them all through the roof. Yeah, to further insulate and dampen sound. All right, so here is the second part of our sound dampening material. Got this high density foam. So 1/4 inch thick, self-adhesive on the back, works really good. Very similar backing to what the first step has, the foil back stuff. You got the grid laid out on there. That makes it easy to keep things straight when you're cutting. Not that anybody's really gonna see it, but hey, take some pride in your work, guys. So you got that. I showed you the roller already. And then this stuff, it goes in here and it doesn't really look like anything, right? It's just black foam there. But like, listen, that's me tapping the outside of the roof. Super dampened, and it's got this stuff vibrating on top. So again, there's no metal ring to it anymore. Pretty quiet. So really helps a ton. I am gonna take the sides of this and we're gonna get some noise, vibration, harmonics foam. And I'll show that to you guys too. It's a 2-part product, so a little bit more to put it in there. It does run about $50 for a dual pack cartridge, but it helps this whole process of quieting the entire vehicle down by calming that sheet metal down. You know, and we haven't even started on these quarters back here. You know, if we run some tires on here that have any kind of tread, the vibration just makes these things loud going down the road. And that's what everybody wants, an old car to sound like a brand new Mercedes. So that's what we're trying to do, is quiet it down, taking you guys along and showing you what to do along the way. All right, guys, so last step, we put in the high density foam over the flat sections of the roof, and you could kind of tell the sound difference that made. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use this 3M flexible foam. I thought I'd ordered NVH foam, but I got the flexible stuff. I'll put the part number for the NVH in the description for the video. But we have this 2-component product here with mixing tips and a special gun that this thing has to use to get it to mix and apply. So I'm going to show you how to prep the cartridge and then show you where I would use this stuff on the Jeep. So to get this thing going, first we've got to unscrew the cap, or I guess you could put it in the applicator gun first. So I'll squeeze this little red thing together, unscrew that cap completely off, and then I'm going to pop the red piece out of the end of the cartridge, and it is stuck in there pretty hard. I'm afraid that we may have some of this that is set up in this cartridge. I ordered it on Amazon. Typically I would buy this from my local paint and body supplier where I know their materials are fresh, this is actually already out of date here, which is not cool. So got to get it all the way in my applicator gun. We're there. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to gun some of it out into the trash can to make sure that both sides are pushing material out. You can see I'm only getting it out of one side. There comes the other part of it. So we want part A and B to be coming out of the end of the cartridge before we put a mixing tip on. So next step, I just put this on there, tighten down the little locking nut. Now, as I start to gun this and it mixes, it's going to start reacting. This stuff has a 10-second time there before it starts to foam, and then it says you have 40 seconds before the reaction's complete. So we don't have very much time. We've got to get this stuff mixed and going on the surface. So I'm going to start squeezing the trigger. See it coming down, it's mixing, and apparently I'm just going to put out about the first pump out of that cartridge right there. Now we'll come back and look at that. You can see it's already growing. We've got to get over here and get this stuff applied in this Jeep like right now. So I just come in to these areas along the edge of the roof, give it a couple, about 3 or 4 pumps there. I'm going to come in, I'm going to pump a little bit here. I'm going to give it a little shot up in underneath the roof. 1 spot, 2 spot. I'll just keep going. So I'm hitting the bows. I'm hitting up in these sections back here. So this stuff has a 10-to-1 expansion rate, so it expands a lot. Okay, I'll take it, stick it way up in there. Alright, and there's a full cartridge used up, guys. That's 60 bucks. Actually about $70 worth of a foam inside of this roof. You can see, like, here's just a little spot that fell on the, and it is soft. So this is not the same as great stuff or some of that you would buy. That stuff expands and it doesn't stop and get more dense, so it causes big problems in your sheet metal. It can actually deform it. This particular product will expand out until it meets resistance, and then it just gets denser. So here we were able to go and come around. You can see right there, we just put that in and it's touching the outer skin. So you can hear the old metal is super quiet now, and it's easy enough to come back with a blade, trim this stuff off, pull it off, whatever. But you can tell we got a few different places with it applied now. So yeah, that's really all there is to it, man. All right, so there you go. You saw the size of piece that was when we started, and now it is fully expanded. You can squeeze it, it's nice and soft. It is flexible foam. It looks to be about the same as the MVH product. Feels the same. So yeah, you got that. Now let's look at the inside of the roof. So you can see up here in those last couple of spots I did, and then here's one of the roof bows. You can see it's not 100% sealed up. It's just a spot, a spot, a spot. Got a spot on the other side, similar, just enough to get rid of that tinny sound of the metal. And you can see back in here there's some. Over on the other side there's a good amount over there. It's tough to video and get this stuff put in here quickly. Like the roof bows now are connected to the outer roof skin. All of our sheet metal has something to help dampen it. So it's just that easy, guys. You just have to spend a little bit of money. I think we got under $200 in all of the products here. I'll have to put that together for you all in the comments or the description. I'll give you a spot on Amazon where I ordered all this stuff to make this happen. Now that's just the roof. We will have to come back and we'll have to do the floor, and we'll probably do some inside of these doors because they're kind of tinny and rattly sounding. An afternoon, maybe a whole day if you really take your time, and you can make a world of difference in how loud your vehicle is when it's going down the road, or maybe you want a big boom boom stereo in it. So this stuff definitely helps with those noises. Yeah, so I appreciate you guys watching. If you like the content, consider subscribing, give the video a thumbs up, leave me a comment if you do something different, or you know of some other products that work good, or maybe I did it completely wrong. Yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next video.